Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday Meditation. I'm so glad we're all here to share this time together. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by kironJ Gardner, who will lead us in meditation. Then we have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we open it up for sharing and we end at 10:45. Over to you, kironJ.
Thanks, Dan. Hello, everybody. It's again beautiful to be with you. Very happy to keep dropping in to these wonderful meditation sessions. Today, I thought we'd have something to support us with the lesson of the day, which is all about bringing God's name to our awareness. And that's a way of saying, focusing our attention just on God. God is. Only God is. Oh, we're not able to do that if we think this world is real. Because if we think this world is real, that's where we want to put our attention. We make it real because we want to give it attention. So I'm going to read a short extract from chapter 20, section 8, about hallucinations. So the invitation is to open our minds and see how willing we are to accept this course teaching. And then I'll set us off into the 20-minute silence. Let's all close our eyes, opening our minds to spirit together. What if you recognized this world is an hallucination? What if you really understood you made it up? What if you realized that those who seem to walk about in it, to sin and die, attack and murder and destroy themselves, are wholly unreal? Could you have faith in what you see if you accepted this? And would you see it? Hallucinations disappear when they are recognized for what they are. This is the healing and the remedy. Believe them not, and they are gone. And all you need to do is recognize that you did this. Once you accept this simple fact and take unto yourself the power you gave them, you are released from them. One thing is sure: hallucinations serve a purpose, and when that purpose is no longer held, they disappear. So let's be with this idea that the world, people, our personal identity are hallucinations in the mind. And let's practice for these 20 minutes being the mind that can hold the idea God is and be interested in nothing else. And we're going into the 20-minute silence now.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 20 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to share, raise your hand, or you can use the electronic hand at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Who'd like to share? No, Norman. Norman and then Sandy.
Excuse me. Yes, Kieran, thank you very much. You're an angel in disguise, possibly, but my family's going through a rough time at the moment. My younger brother is in the palliative stages. He had Alzheimer's, so I'm sure you don't know, imagine what it's like just watching him, get worse and worse and worse. And when the last time I went to see him yesterday, it was just that I tried, looked and tried different things. That's the majority. That's just a bag of bones with skin on it. There's nothing more than a skeleton. And a wee carer came in and he recognized her voice and propped him up and gave him little bits of milk on a spoon. But he just turned his head away when he'd had milk. So it was not typical. But then, of course, if you mention the other people that he's just getting ready to pass away, it's the usual things. Oh, we not die until his time's up. The last page of the book, and all these nonsense things. As he had the dress thrown shit, he hasn't got the energy for anything. Never mind throw his arms away. So, and I must admit, it's easy to fall into the trap of human thinking, if you like. But at the start, just at the very start, I said, I'm confused as well at all of this. I said, well, give it a go. And I had trouble with my ego for a long time. Why did it start as a 3-year-old child or less when I was in nappies? And the answer to that was, Norman, you were never born. And that thought came into my mind again. And it didn't take the Holy Spirit to tell me, Norman, if you weren't born, you can't die. And that has given me, just the way the first one gave me great relief. Certainly this one has opened my mind again. And that bag of bones is not Geordie. It's an illusion. So thank you very much indeed. And it follows on amazingly from what Sandy said on Sunday. So I feel truly blessed. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Norman. These seemingly awful situations that people experience and people have to watch others experience can be the greatest blessing if we do indeed see through the eyes of vision, see with the Holy Spirit. Yeah. It cannot be true that we sin and die. We become bags of bones. We have Alzheimer's. We have anything that's awful. Cannot be true because God is. And we are an extension of God is. So when we have these horrible things to deal with, we have this really stark contrast between an impossible image, so it must be an hallucination, and the truth. And it can help us more and more open to God is. And then it's much, much easier to see these things as an hallucination. It's a virtuous circle. As we look on the awful and think this has to be an hallucination, then it's easier to remember God is. And as we remember God is, it's easier and easier to see these things as hallucinations. and round this virtuous circle can work in our minds. Beautiful, perfect blessing. So thank you very much, Norman, for your sharing.
Thank you.
Sandy, would you like to share?
Thank you. Thank you, Norman, for that as well. And thank you, Kieran. Yeah, it was a really beautiful meditation. When we first went into it, you were talking about the mind. And I found as I started the meditation thinking God is, I was really focused. I realized my awareness was in my brain, my head. And I thought, my mind isn't here. It's everywhere. And as I did that, everything dissolved. And then I could focus on God is. And as I did that, it changed to God is love and I am love. And then it just changed to love. And just this smile came across my face. It was just so lovely just to keep sort of dissolving those layers and coming to that. So I just wanted to share and say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. And you make the beautiful distinction that this is not an intellectual exercise. We do have the idea God is, and that's a pointer, that's a portal, that's a way of opening up beyond all words. As we know, A Course in Miracles is full of words. It's a huge book full of words, and all of them are pointing beyond words. All of them are supporting us to open to an experience that is completely beyond our human understanding. And that seems to be in your experience today. So beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Who'd like to share? Lois, take yourself off mute.
Yeah, so I very quickly, when I was focusing on God is, came to I am. I think I did the whole meditation with a grin, with a smile on my face. It was very joyful. Thinking about the hallucinations, going back to what you said, Coram, was the awareness that we don't know what anything is for. No matter how dreadful it looks, we don't know what joy is going to come out of that, ultimately, what teaching, what learning for people. And I was as well, when you start to get it, because I don't think we can fully get it, it's just such a relief, isn't it? It's just like that God is love, and our responsibility is to hold the joy and the peace. I was thinking, well, I can just sit in a chair. I don't actually have to do anything beyond that. If I'm meant to do anything beyond that, I'll get a shove. And I just need to follow it. But what I keep coming back to in all the exercises I'm doing, I was very privileged. I'm a person who doesn't keep track of time, so I don't know how many years ago it was now, a few years ago when I was a Quaker. I was very privileged to be at the passing of one of our Quakers who had a hotline. I always felt when she gave ministry, she had a hotline to God. And by a strange set of circumstances, it was me who was with her in the hospital when she passed. And I knew I had a great privilege, and I knew what she'd given me. I always felt it was her last ministry to me. But I think it's only since I've been doing the lessons of the course that I'm beginning to be able to really understand the magnitude of it, because when she passed, it was so beautiful and peaceful. And when she went, the whole room was filled just with this tangible love. It was tangible. It was something I'd never, ever experienced before, and just so beautiful. And there was no, it was joyous. It was beautiful. And so even though Chris was lying there, gone from her physical body, and then when I went to phone her partner to let her know that Chris had passed, her partner said, yes, we know, because that same feeling of love was filling the home. And that is just, what a lesson. And whenever I doubt anything in the course, all I have to do is think of that. And I know I've been given the experience of what actually is. So, yeah, just wanted to share that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It brings to mind for me the course teaching to not judge forgiveness. Do not set forgiveness in an earthly frame. At the human level, we can't see the bigger picture of every seeming fragment of mind and its way home, its way of letting go of illusions, seeing through the hallucination. So we just choose to forgive. We choose to remember God is love. I am love. We choose that. And then we look at what the mind makes in its way towards full remembering. Yeah. And what you've shared is just a beautiful way. What the world sees as tragic and difficult and painful and not a good thing at all, you have experienced as blessing and peace. So, yeah, that's forgiveness. Thank you, Lois. Yeah.
Who would like to share? Evelyn, and then are you?
Thank you, Dan. And thank you, everyone, for the sharing. I find it very, very helpful. And your response, kironJ. And I realize I realized for a long time I'm stuck in my head a lot of the time. And just listening to Sandy's experience, very quickly that dissolved. And so I realized I could do with some help, please. How to let go of that? I guess it's a holding on and fear. But I don't know. I don't know. Thank you.
Well, it's wonderful you're asking the question. And of course, in this situation, there's not time to give an extensive answer. What I see as really helpful is to realize, or to be with the idea, I am doing this. I am the mind that wants to be stuck in the head. I am the mind that doesn't want an experience beyond words. I am the mind that's deliberately choosing this. Even if it doesn't resonate to start with, simply giving space for this idea of responsibility is very powerful. If we stay as a person that doesn't know how to do it, as a person that's frustrated, as a person that wants something else, then that's the block. That is the mind wanting to be the person, and it doesn't want to open up to more, so it won't. The mind is all powerful. If it doesn't want to open up beyond the person and words, it won't. That's it. So when we seem to be in this situation of powerlessness, we can give that space to the idea. The Course is teaching, I am a mind that chooses its dream in all its details. Let's be there for a while. I am the mind that's choosing this. Oh, let's see what comes from that contemplation.
Thank you, kironJ. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayu, would you like to share?
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone. Just a quick share here. I recently found the joy of writing. There's a kind of social media Japanese website for specifically writing lover. So little essays and so on. But I used this AI ChatGPT recently. So I put my experience and the things I want to write, and they write for me. And at the same time, I use ChatGPT to put in Ken Wapnick's teaching, not Course in Miracle generally, just specifically Ken Wapnick teaching, to me, to stand in always decision mind. He used to call the blue dot, blue bot. So I put the same experience. It's just recently we back from a Paris, Berlin train trip with my husband in a wheelchair. It was a very full of interesting story. So I'd like to share with the people in Japanese mostly, and from a wheelchair user point of view. There's lots of interesting, challenging and fun story. And I'm not a really social media person, but I found out that telling those story with the writing, it can be helpful. But I used to write mainly Course in Miracle principle, but made me tired. Just always talking about Course in Miracle, you have to live in ABC. And gosh, I'm making Course in Miracle real. So I just stood a little bit behind the use this AI to use the same experience, the happening in Paris and Berlin and wherever, to communicate with other normal human being. At the same time, how can I, if I write from a Course Ken Wapnick's point of view, and it shows me two versions of writing, and I found this very, very helpful. So because I always make the AI, ChatGPT, let me stand in the point of seeing one event from Course in Miracle point of view, but I don't have to tell people this is where I live, because most of the people don't understand it anyway. But yes, I'm using this technology, and for me, it's very useful. And I don't have to talk to maybe to the sub things, but it's handy. It's very useful tools for me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This is a beautiful example of the Holy Spirit using everything and anything. There's no limit to how we can use the symbols we've made. Ken Wapnick's an idea in our mind. AI is an idea in our mind. People in Japan is an idea in our mind. So my way, my encouragement always, if there's interest, is to come back to the mind and see what the mind is doing. And if the mind is using the symbols it's made for holy purpose, for communication, this is forgiveness. This is miraculous and wonderful. And again, not to judge it from the human perspective. Ken Wapnick is very helpful for some. I find his writings very helpful, completely unhelpful for others. AI will be very helpful for some, not at all helpful for others. And our journey without distance is to open up and follow the way that this mind is to go, the symbols it is to use and how to use them, because there will be perfection in that. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you for this wonderful example of that teaching. Yeah.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, kironJ. That was wonderful. Take yourself off mute and show your appreciation to kironJ.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you so much,
Everyone.
kironJ. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.